The comments and statements made within the show are the opinions of the commentators and their guests, have not been evaluated by the FDA, and are in no way attempt to diagnose, treat, mitigate, cure, or prevent any disease or illness. The contents of this show are not to be construed as medical advice. If you have a health condition or health concern, please contact a licensed, qualified healthcare practitioner.
Hi everyone, I'm Nan.
And I'm Tom, and this is a Supplement Super Sleuth.
That'll be me, and the herbal storyteller.
And that definitely would be me. And together, we're going to take a peek behind the curtain of the natural products industry.
We'll be sharing naturals in the news, dispelling lots of myths, interviewing key players in the industry, and highlighting our favorite herbs and supplements.
So with that, let's pull back that curtain and see what's there.
Good morning. Yes, this is a Supplement Super Sleuth and the herbal storyteller, but without the herbal storyteller today. Tom is gonna shoot for semi-retirement this year. Good for him, because he turned 74 on January 10th. The guy is ageless. So we'll have some fun together, you and I. We're going to be happily doing our naturals in the news. And then we'll also be doing one of my favorite things, an herb called lemon balm. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really excited to continue on. And let's just dive right into our first naturals in the news, a headline that I found. Clinical efficacy of hibiscus and lemon verbena polyphenol extract on appetite in overweight adults. Now, yes, it is the beginning of the year, and just like everything else, a lot of people make a lot of promises to themselves, and some of them are a little bit easier than others. Weight loss as you get older sometimes really can be a struggle for people. And oftentimes people will come into my practice and say, can you help me lose a little weight? And there are a lot of aspects that are a part of why people put on weight or not. But just overall, in the sense of, if you're curtailing your calories and you're eating a healthy diet, and you're still struggling with weight gain, we can look to the herb world, which we do love to do here. So the clinical trial was really well done. Let me share that with you. Obesity and excessive weight have become a worldwide epidemic, and can lead to hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which we've talked about here. There's a number of factors, including an imbalance of caloric intake and energy expenditure. So for those of you who are couch potatoes, get up and move around, right? Genetics, and also psychological issues. Polyphenols are natural products in plants that have reported anti-inflammatory, anti-hypertensive, and anti-lipogenic effects. Two plants that are thought to modulate metabolic pathways, hibiscus, which we've talked about before here on the Supplement Super Sleuth, and lemon verbena. It's suggested that these two herbs activate a pathway that leads to fat loss. The authors conducted a randomized, controlled, double-blind, crossed-over clinical trial to evaluate the effect of hibiscus and lemon verbena together. That's called a dui-jiao. Oftentimes, herbalists will put two herbs together synergistically to create a formula, a simple formula that packs a lot of power, because one herb alone has hundreds of constituents, and you put two herbs together and you have hundreds of constituents, but you have a synergistic effect. So the trial were performed at San Antonio Catholic University in Murcia, Spain, and the recruitment was performed through women's centers, senior centers, neighborhood associations, and the ages ranged between 18 and 65 years. and they had a body mass index between 25 and 34.9 kilograms. They had an exclusion criteria. Participants reported to the laboratory a total of 4 times during visits 1 and 3. There was a baseline in both phases. Blood samples were obtained after a 12-hour fast. Water was not to be consumed 3 hours before the visit. Moderate to high intensity exercise could be performed before the visit. Cigarettes could not be smoked within an hour of the visit. So of the 36 participants that were enrolled, 33 finished the study. And it was really interesting. So the control group had a higher consumption of energy consumed during the ad libitum intake compared to the herbal group. However, the sensation of appetite after ad libitum intake was not significantly different between groups. So satiety or feeling full is a different thing than losing fat. Satiety was higher in the herbal group compared to placebo. So that helps. That helps you to feel like, gosh, I'm not starving all the time. And was still significant after 120 minutes after they ate their meals. So sometimes people will eat and then feel hungry right away. But with the herbal group, they did not. There was no significant differences between the groups for hormones at baseline. Okay, so anorexigenic hormones did not show a significant between the groups after the trial. However, significant differences between the herbal group and the placebo group for leptin at 180 minutes was significantly higher in the placebo group compared to the herbal group. So there was some modulation during the trial and during the intake of the herbs. So the author concluded that the herbal group can decrease appetite sensation and body composition of fat and increased satiety. So the feeling of fullness could potentially have a positive effect on leptin, ghrelin, and GLP-1. So limitations include having a very big range of body mass index, inflammatory status, and gastric flexibility. And having a low number of patients, having a short time frame, the authors recommend further research. But there you are, very safe, delicious. Hibiscus and lemon verbena are delicious as a tea, in a 1-to-1 ratio. So pretty fantastic. I love that in the news. It just came out in December. It was published in December 30th, 2022. And you can find it in European Journal of Nutrition. And it's pretty exciting to hear that. Okay, so next headline, 7 benefits of milk thistle backed by science. So I love that. A lot of people feel that herbs and nutraceuticals are sketchy at best, but we have an enormous body of research on many of our common herbs, especially our herbs of commerce. Milk thistle is an ancient plant. It's kind of pink and purplish. It's called cone flower, right? It has a little cone on the top. There is echinacea, which is the cone flower, but milk thistle has a little powder puff cone on top of it as well. It's a pinkish purplish flower. And it's very popular. I see it in a lot of formulas today. Milk thistle has been found in clinical research to detoxify your blood, to support good liver detoxification pathways. It has great antioxidants. Some of the antioxidants it supports your body in producing, one of them is called glutathione. And glutathione is probably one of our most powerful liver detoxifiers. And one of the really well-researched compounds in milk thistle is called silymarin. Silymarn. Silymarin is just one of the fantastic constituents that you'll get if you take milk thistle. But it is highly researched. And some companies will have like a 90% silymarin content of the milk thistle. And again, I'm more interested in whole herb, whole plant, but it does pack a punch, that silymarin. Silymarin in clinical research has been found to protect aging brains. As the brain ages, natural detoxification mechanisms can fail to remove all the amyloid plaque buildup during sleep. And milk thistle taken during the day may be able to help by reducing amyloid plaque formation in the brain. It's been shown to do this in animal studies. And another reason for taking milk thistle, you can take it as a tea. It supports healthy blood sugar levels. Active substances in the milk thistle, not just silymarin, but silymarin has been found in clinical research to help control blood sugar levels. A review published in the Journal of Diabetes Research looked at 5 clinical trials involving 270 patients using 90% extracted silymarin in milk thistle, and it concluded that the silymarin significantly reduced blood sugar levels and could potentially help people who have a pre-diabetic situation with glycemic control. Milk thistle may help to fight cancer. And of course, a lot of our herbs do because they are inherently antioxidant in nature. Silymarin's been shown in animal studies to protect against breast, prostate, bladder, skin, colon, kidney, and lung cancers. Human trials are lacking. So I wouldn't say, okay, I think I'm worried about some kind of precancerous situation, I'm just going to take milk thistle and silymarin. I wouldn't go that far, but it's not going to cause cancer. So knowing that and making a decision that you're going to take silymarin, you should know that it's protective and supportive for healthy cell division. Milk thistle increases breast milk production. This we know. The latex from the extraction of the milk thistle is a galactagogue, and it's always been that way. In a 2-month study, mothers taking 420 milligrams of milk thistle with an extract, a solid extract of silymarin in the milk thistle, increased their breast milk production by 86% compared to mothers in a placebo. The study also confirmed silymarin supplementation did not affect the quality of the milk supply. So it's great for lactating mothers who are struggling with low milk supply. And again, lots of antioxidants. It's not going to upset the baby's tummy. It's not going to upset mommy. Milk thistle may improve acne. Lots of times people use topical, but your skin is a reflection of, healthy organs and your general health. Interestingly, oral supplementation with milk thistle has been linked to improved acne symptoms. In one study, 56 patients, just 8 weeks of milk thistle intervention reduced acne lesions by about 53%. And again, there's antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties of milk thistle, and we know that it supports the liver and the lungs and the liver and the large intestine. The health of those 3 organs is seen quite vividly in the skin. Milk thistle and silymarin might also support good bone health in postmenopausal women. There are early clinical trials on this, and we need a lot more research. We do know that milk thistle has its own phytoestrogen, just like some of our other great herbs like yam and clover and, and black cohosh. We find herbs also have their own hormones that might mimic in very, very small amounts hormones that we have in our own body. And in the case of milk thistle, silymarin is also a phytoestrogen, but not like soy. And a lot of people take soy and things don't go so well. It is in early animal studies, they do find that estrogen deficiency can be slightly ameliorated with milk thistle and silymarin. So it's an incredible herb, and it's something to think about as you start into your weekly, let's take care of ourselves for 2023. So I have one other thing to share with you. I saw a headline and it says, it actually made me laugh quite quite hard. It says, "Can you outrun a poor diet?" Now, oftentimes in my practice, I hear people say, "I work out to eat." And on on further exploration of that statement, what I find is they work out to eat junk food because junk food often has high calories. So the research did find that very high levels of physical activity did not counteract the detrimental effects of a poor diet and mortality risk. So the University of Sydney led a study and found participants who had both high levels of physical activity, so athletes, and high quality diet had the lowest risk of death, showing that you cannot outrun a poor diet. So for those of you who are out there, and I'm saying this because I see this often in my practice where people will say, "Well, I ran an extra 3 miles so I can have pizza tonight," or "I had a beer after my hockey game," or "I had 3 beers after my hockey game because I can. I'm not worried about the calories." But you can't outrun that. You can't out-exercise a poor diet. Published today in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, the researchers examined the independent and joint effects of diet and physical activity with all-cause cardiovascular disease and cancer mortality using a large population-based sample, 360,600 people, in a biomedical cohort study containing in-depth biological, behavioral, and health information from the participants. High-quality diets included at least 5 portions of fruit and vegetables every day, 2 portions of fish per week, and a lower consumption of red meat, particularly processed meat, were the biggest defining factors in this giant cohort study. So for those of you who think you can out-exercise a poor diet, it's not going to happen. So sorry. All right. So that's it for our naturals in the news. That was lots of fun. Let's start our next section here. So one of my favorite things is an herb called lemon balm. And we use the leaf, and it's just a gorgeous plant. It has many names. So let me share some of the names with you. So it's called bee balm because the bumblebees love, or all bees absolutely love this plant. It's called Melissa, Sweet Mary, honey plant, dropsy plant. So it has a lot of names. And the reason for that is it has been a really big part of beverage tea for over 2,000 years. So lemon balm has been used all over the Middle East, Asia, Europe, South America, here in the all of the Americas going up to Canada. It is a worldwide plant. And oftentimes people think, oh, lemon balm, I see it just overgrows the garden, and they think it's a weed. And in many sense of the word, some of our best common herbs are weed-like. They take over the whole place, right? So, but for over, so this is in written history. It's probably much older, maybe 10,000 years old, that it's been used and shared verbally in verbal herbal tradition. Say that 20 times fast. So for over 2,000 years, lemon balm has been used to calm the mind, take the edge off daily stress. And it has been used for occasional, mild anxiety. It can support a state of mind. It helps maintain calmness in times of stress. It helps support the body in temporary relief of everyday stress taken on a daily basis, and can help enhance relaxation, enhance muscle relaxation, and give you a positive state or balanced mind. So the Latin for lemon balm is called Melissa officinalis. It's a part of the mint family, and it grows in these clumps, and it creates incredible smell when you bruise the leaves. So the part of the plant that we use is the leaf. They have hairy leaves. So when you look at them in the garden, you'll see these hairs all over them. And when you crush them with your hands, this incredible, gorgeous scent kind of fills the whole garden. It is a perennial herb, and it originated in the Mediterranean area. So it's part of our Greek and Roman ancient history. It can grow to about 2 feet tall, and it has these little tiny white flowers on them. It's really easy to see in a garden. And it really grows and kind of can take over the place. Its early usage was documented by the Greeks and Romans, such as Dioscorides and Pliny. The botanical name Melissa is derived from the word for bee, since it attracts bees. And it's a great plant to have in your garden to bring the bees, honeybees, bumblebees, worker bees. I think they're called carpenter bees. So all these different bees love Melissa. This plant has become part of many healthcare dispensaries. They used to also call it balm plant or balsam because of the resin. When you crush those leaves, there's like a resin or an aromatherapy, like an oil that comes out of the leaf itself. Now, monks would make perfumes out of lemon balm to cover up the smell of bodies that haven't had frequent washing, kind of like a natural deodorant. And today, lemon balm is known for its antiviral, antibacterial, carminative that helps to prevent gas. Like if you have, really bad gas from eating a poor diet, if you drink lemon balm tea, it can kind of reduce that gas production inside of your body. Historically, lemon balm has been used also as a diaphoretic. It opens the pores to help the body expunge, the common cold, if you will. It's great as a nervine. It calms the nervous system. It opens the pores. It relaxes the muscles. It relaxes the mind, but it doesn't over sedate. So that's the nice thing about lemon balm, is you can drink it during the day and it's not going to make you want to lie down and fall asleep. In the King's American Dispensatory, the primary materia medica for North American eclectic physicians in the 19th century describe lemon balm as follows. Balm is moderately stimulant, diaphoretic, and antispasmodic. A warm infusion, so tea, if you will, drank freely, has been a serviceable diaphoretic in febrile diseases and painful menstruation, and to assist the operation of other diaphoretic medicines. So you can mix lemon balm with some of your other favorite herbs, like especially if you have digestive issues, like chamomile tea. You can have lemon balm and chamomile tea together, or just like we were talking about earlier in our Naturals in the News, you could actually have 3 herbs together. Maybe you could have lemon verbena and lemon balm and hibiscus together. That's a lovely little triad, if you will. So getting back here to lemon balm, stress is really a problem. One of the things, we all have stress. Animals have stress, humans have stress. The difference between animal stress and human stress is animals don't think about it. Once it happens, they have the stress response. They just relax. They stop thinking about it. They don't perseverate, okay? But humans do. And because of that, stress and anxiety can be associated with many kinds of neurological and physiological imbalances. our stress response doesn't turn off unless we stop our minds from turning it back on again. So that's part of the problem. This stress causes our body to direct all of its energy to the muscles and organs of fight or flight, while depleting energy from our body's maintenance function, which is our digestion, our, rebuilding new cells, growing hair, growing new skin. All of those things that are about restoration go away when we're under a stress response. And this wouldn't be so much of a problem if our species were like animals, right? If we only experienced stress when there was an imminent threat in front of us, we would be fine. But our minds make threats all over the place on a daily basis. So that's part of our big problem. We create stress responses to non-external issues, internal issues. We continue the stress response in our own minds. So that's why we need extra help. We get upset stomachs, we get increased hunger, we get weakened immune systems, we get depression, we get lack of sleep, we get high blood pressure, and other more serious health issues have been linked to just the stress response alone. So chronic exposure to stress and anxiety initially causes elevated levels of stress hormone called cortisol. And this has numerous adverse events in our body, poor sleep, which then spirals out of control. And it's really a problem. In an animal study, it was found that 200 milligrams per kilogram of lemon balm extract administered once a day for 3 weeks reduced that cortisol level. So for those of you who have high cortisol levels, and you can actually have that tested, you go to your primary care physician and say, I'm under enormous amounts of stress. I just can't feel I can get up and over it. Can you test for my cortisol? And they can. And the other interesting thing about lemon balm lowering that cortisol is that there was a significant effect on enhancing the growth of neurons in the brain. In a double-blinded, placebo-controlled, randomized, balanced, crossed over study on humans, 10 males, 8 females were subjected to the effects of lemon balm, and these individuals were given 4 capsules a day, either containing 150 milligrams of lemon balm extract or placebo. And the dosages ranged from 300 milligrams to 600 milligrams throughout the study. Subjects were tested pre-dose, and then 1 hour post-dose. The 600 milligram dose directly affected mood, improved calmness, decreased over-alertness. The 300 milligram dose didn't seem to have a lot of effect on mood, but it did have an effect on mathematical processing. So cognition and focus was improved, right? Because stress was alleviated. And in this, and well, of other studies, lemon balm extract has been shown to help balance mood, create calmness, increase memory and alertness. And in other clinical trials, 15 females and 5 males, somewhere around the age of 20, so it's like a college study, subjects received 6 capsules containing about 150 milligrams, ranging from 300 to 600 milligrams a day, which is not even a gram, right? Subjects were tested pre-dose, and then 1 hour post-dose, 2.5 hours post-dose, and then 6 hours post-dose. A 600 milligram dose showed improvements in accuracy test for these college students that were given the lemon balm. It seemed to negatively affect memory at over 900 milligrams. So they got too relaxed at a gram, but the sweet spot is somewhere between 300 and 600 milligrams per day to have an increase of alertness. So if you take over a gram of lemon balm, you'll probably take a nap, okay? But if you take under, somewhere around 500 milligrams, you're going to feel great and you're going to be really alert. So that's why we recommend tea. It's an incredible herb. It's easy to take as a tea. Safety and herb interactions. According to the American Herbal Products Association Botanical Safety Handbook, lemon balm is listed as a class 1 herb. It's an herb of commerce. We can put it in tea safely. Okay. If you are on antidepressants or anti-anxiety medication, it is best to check with your physician prior to use, because those classes of drugs can actually increase in their effectiveness using lemon balm. So you really don't want to mess with your physician's recommendation for your drugs. Okay, that prescription, is at a dose for you. So if you're taking something like lemon balm, which can have an effect on mood and memory and alertness, you want to be really careful. So always check with a clinical herbalist or a naturopath or a chiropractor who's very well versed in herbs, or your physician, if your physician knows enough about lemon balm. Always make sure you check before you just start taking lemon balm if you're on anti-depression medication or anti-anxiety medication. Other than that, lemon balm has not really been found to create negative side effects at very, very high doses, over 3 grams. There has been shown to be some stomach upset, a little bit of diarrhea, but you wouldn't take that much anyway. I mean, if you do, you're being ridiculous. Just don't do that, okay? Just take a little bit as tea. You probably wouldn't even get to 500 milligrams if you take it as a tea. Now, if you take it as an alcohol tincture or a capsule, you could get to that range of 500 to 900 milligrams. If you're using lemon balm to try and really relax, to take a nap, or to get some extra sleep, then you want to hit that 1 gram area. If you're using it just throughout the day as a tea, 150 milligrams, might take a little bit of the edge off, but really it'll just give you some alertness. At 500 milligrams, you're really going to hit that sweet spot if you're 150-pound human being adult. Okay. So if you're over 200 pounds, you're going to have to take a little bit more, not much, probably about 100, 150 milligrams. All right. Well, that is our show for today. Nice and short, naturals in the news, our favorite things. In the future, we're just going to keep moving on. Tom may come back on and do some, he'll be a special guest, if you will. And we're going to carry on, and we'll have some guests. We're going to have some new guests here. Dr. Margot Roman, who is a veterinarian of natural medicine, has absolutely said yes. So she's going to come on. We're going to talk about natural health for people and pets. So I'm really excited to have Dr. Roman on in the next month or so. So please, continue to get back on and share with us. Let me know how it's going. If there's anything that you want to talk about, share about, hear about, I'm here for you. You're probably wondering who I am if this is the first time you ever tuned in. I've had a complementary and alternative health and herbal clinic for more than 30 years. I've focused on difficult to treat conditions. I've also been a spokesperson and educator in the natural products industry for over 27 years, in my practice full time now. And you can connect with me personally by going to my website at www.watersedgewellness.com. There are 2 Water's Edge Wellnesses. One's in, I think it's in either Seattle, Washington, or Oregon. And I'm here on the East Coast in Massachusetts. So hopefully you'll find me there. Or you can reach out to me through social media sites. I have TikTok, which is, my TikTok is called Herbal Answers. Please visit me there, or Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I'll be doing this podcast now 4 times a month, sharing perspectives of natural health and healing, interviewing key people and thought leaders in the natural products industry to hear their knowledgeable perspectives. And if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to and like the Facebook page or Instagram. YouTube, or TikTok. Please share our podcast, if you will, with interested friends and family. And please let us know if there's something you'd like to hear about by adding your comments to any of the social media sites. Like I said, Tom will be back. We're going to miss him on a monthly basis, but he will be back at some point in the future to share about the bees and share his knowledge as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Okay, everyone, until next time, I'm Nan.
And I'm Tom.
We'll have more great topics and guests in the very near future. So join us right here in 2 weeks as the Supplement Super Sleuth
And the Herbal Storyteller take another deep dive into the fascinating world of the natural products industry.
See you later.